Imagine you've booked a dazzling vacation home perfect for your honeymoon.
Nice.
The house has it all. A pool, a spectacular view, and also the weird owner who lives behind the locked door in the hallway.
Hello! I can assure you I shan't be watching you during your stay, so why even bring it up?
Nope. We're leaving.
When you'd like a romantic vacation getaway instead of having to get away from your vacation, it matters where you stay. At Hilton, you can expect accommodations that meet your expectations. Hilton for the stay.
BooBaes.
Okay, great. Well, hey!
Heidi and hello.
Heidi? Who's Heidi? Just kidding, I know Heidi.
Heidi, I barely know her.
Heidi. Hey, Boo.
Hi, Bae. We are the
BooBaes.
BooBaes. Wow, how did that come out? Anyways, you guys, we're trying something new every time.
Yeah.
Just a little different.
Whatever works, we're just here to...
That's kind of cute, though. I like
We're
that.
just, what do we say?
Hi, Boo.
Hi, Bae.
And we're the...
BooBaes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's
a little ring
cute.
to it. Leave a comment if y'all think that sounds cute.
We'll immediately forget. I immediately already
Literally.
forgot.
But next time we'll have to be like, "Hi, Bae. We're the BooBaes." Oh, that sounded like boobies.
We're the boobies.
Literally.
We're just boobs.
Yeah.
What if
Two
of
boobs
us
talking
together?
about horror.
That's right.
Mm.
Boobs.
Are you the left boob or am I the left?
I
You could
think
be the right boob.
it kinda
Uniboob?
would be yes.
Yeah.
We are one
boob
boob.
in the front, one boob in the back.
Just sticks right through.
Oh, that's like that. I could see that in
That
some
could be a horror
sci-fi
film.
horror film. Yeah, literally.
By the way, I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Joshua.
Yes, and this is BooBaes. If you
BooBaes.
hadn't caught on already, because we said it like 4 times.
Literally name dropping over here.
But the horror movie podcast, where you can come and get
Your frights.
your
spooks.
booze given to you.
Yeah.
You can take our booze or you can leave them. But
Make your own booze.
Yeah,
which
make your
as
own
you
booze.
should.
Tell us your booze.
For real.
But also, don't leave our booze, please. Stay
Yeah,
with
no.
us.
We want to talk about the booze with you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yes.
If you don't agree, fucking stay anyways.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
okay. We all have
thanks for the
different
support.
opinions.
You know what? We're
We
all-
have different opinions and
Yeah.
already in the shows.
We listened to the podcast before this.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of a different opinion.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was probably one of, aside from The Devil Made Me Do It, that was probably one of our biggest gaps.
Yeah. Yeah. Because everything else.
Because that was like a solid, it was either,
Mhm.
we were either the same or
Both
0.5
liked it,
apart.
Or, yeah.
Or 0.5 or less apart. And then, we
Yeah.
were 3.5 and 4.5
Mm-hmm.
from us last time. So cool.
Love it.
Today, we are continuing with the VHS, but not doing the middle two.
Yeah. We're skipping right on over to VHS 94.
A Shudder original,
Yes.
which I was really
Shout out
hoping
to
that
Shudder.
Shudder would have gotten the rights to all of them.
Yeah. Because you can only, there's only VHS 94 on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only find VHS 94 on Shudder.
But yeah.
I really wish. Same with Halloween.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
when we
sure
went to
there's
go.
a lot of legal contract stipulations of who
Yeah.
owns what and what can go on what, streaming service. But yeah, it'd be nice to have them all on one
Yeah.
streaming platform.
Hopefully someday Shudder will be able to get all of them, because VHS for the longest time was on Netflix.
Mhm.
That was where I originally saw it. And I feel like, but also part of it is kind of like that I feel like plays into the whole idea of the VHS series, that it's found footage. Like you have to find it.
Yeah.
And
okay.
so like it's kind of hard to find these films without
Going out and buying a physical copy, which then.
Like
yeah.
I purchased VHS on Amazon Prime.
There you go.
That's what I did. And it was like $4. It was real
Yeah.
cheap. I was like, it was like $2.98 to rent it or $3.98 to buy it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm
Might as
gonna
well just
buy it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll watch this again.
And it's
I
one
know
of your
I will.
favorites. So
Yeah.
you gave it a 4.5. That's almost
Yeah.
a 5 boo rating.
That
That's
is.
a really high up there.
That is. And again, I still, every time I'm like, damn, I've been like really harsh on some of these films. Because I listen back and I'm just like, man, I'm really like, it seems like I really like this one. And I'm like, I'm sure I gave that a 4. And then my dumbass comes out and it's like 3. 2.5. And I'm like, what the Caitlin?
We'll have to rub off on each other because I feel like you're more critical and I'm more like, I loved it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, maybe now we're switching tracks a little bit. Who knows?
So VHS 94.
That's where we are.
Yes.
Shudder original.
Mhm.
Shudder has some of the best fucking content. I would
Yeah.
love to go through and here soon and just do like
A binge.
a binge of and just do some Shudder, either originals or ones that are like exclusively streaming on
Yeah.
Shudder right now, because
We'll
they
have to
do
do a
some
whole
good.
month on just Shudder.
That would be amazing. If y'all would be interested in that, if y'all have Shudder, let us know, because I think that would be super fun for us to kind of go through together.
Yeah.
And
A little more interactive. Yeah.
that would be fun. But yes, VHS 94 starts. We've got 2 women in
Yep.
a room, and they're bloodied, and we've got the stacked TVs again.
Yeah.
Kind of
It's a
fun.
running theme.
Yep. And we get the countdown, which
10.
felt like the countdown for the whole movie. I loved it for the start.
Yeah.
It was very theatrical.
That's how I felt too.
Yeah.
Very theatrical.
I was here for it. I was like, yes, we're really setting the scene.
Yeah.
It was cool. I loved it.
And then with her eyes gouged out and everything, all that. Yeah. It was a really good.
Love me a good eye
strong
gouging.
opening.
Not really.
Actually, I love me a good eye gouge.
Yeah. I don't fuck with the eyes. Ugh. That's, I mean, that, I guess I love it in the sense of like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Life or death,
You
though.
know?
Like if I'm in a situation where I'm like it's survival, I am gouging out an eye.
Yeah. I
Like-
don't know if I could physically put my fingers in someone's eyes.
Well, I mean,
I guess if I was dying, I don't know.
It's-
Like
well,
if
I
they were
mean-
trying to kill me,
well,
I'd
yeah,
do anything.
I mean, like for
I'd rip their dick
survival,
off.
Well, there you go. Honestly, do it. I don't. blame
I'd go
you.
for ripping balls off before I think I went for eyes.
It's just to me, it's like it's a double like win, I guess, in a sense, because either you do it strong enough to where like you kill this person because I'm sorry, you guys are getting a really dark view into my mind. You kill this person because like you're gouging their eyes out,
Fucked
or
up some brain
you
cords.
do something, or you just
At least you blinded them.
blind them so that way they can't fucking see you, so you can then actually put in
Escape.
the final kill. Or escape.
Yeah.
Both plans, both are options, honestly, on the table. Hey, who knows?
I don't know. See, I don't want to stick around someone who's down too long because Michael Myers got me scared of that. They're going to pop right back up and they're going to kill me.
Yeah, that's the way that I've seen too many scary movies that I'm going straight for that double tap.
Yeah.
Or for the head. Literally cut the head off.
Well, I would get the head. Yeah.
Cut the head off.
Yeah. And if it was a zombie, you got a double tap. You never know. But
Some rules.
Michael Myers, again, he can get
Michael Myers.
7 tapped, 8 tapped.
Yeah, that's just 'cause
motherfucker's
that's
still
straight
still going.
evil embodiment, and also contractually they can't kill him. He contractually can't die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta stay alive
can't.
forever.
It's got to. There's
Michael
got to be more
forever.
sequels. Literally.
Yep.
That's the next movie, Michael Forever.
Michael forever.
It like takes on a whole Batman trope. Michael Begins.
No.
Michael Forever.
Michael begins. I hate that.
Michael, why?
It's just how leading
just
up to
literally
him
yeah,
as a child.
It's literally all that one kill of his sister.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The days before.
literally.
Did he plan it out?
The
Who
backstory
knows?
that we wanted, but not from Rob Zombie.
Yes.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly. Anyways, back to VHS 94.
Mm.
The way that this,
Yeah, it opens up with all the SWAT.
the SWAT drug teams, what was the drug? DAs?
Something.
I don't know.
I don't remember that. I just know it was
Whatever
white
the
and
drug
gooey.
people are.
Oh, you mean them people?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
drug raid.
Yeah. I know what you're trying to say. I don't know the
I
name.
don't know.
of them. Yeah. They're
In Weeds, the lady ends up dating
yeah.
the head honcho of
Mhm.
that, and then she fucks him over.
I watched that show up until like the 3rd season, I think, because then it kind of
Yeah,
dropped off
the
for me.
ending, like I've never been so like unsatisfied with an ending of a television series. Anyways,
Yeah.
the whole them coming in, it really
Mhm.
felt like I was in a first person shooter
Oh
game.
yeah, I feel
The
that.
way that they were talking and
That's-
interacting
it
with each other
really-
felt like a video game.
Yeah.
And there's another part later on too where I was like, this is just a first person shooter.
Literally.
I am watching
I didn't really
like Call
care
of Duty
for it, to be honest. I didn't
No,
really
I didn't
care for
either.
the acting.
The acting was
Any
pretty
of-
bad.
It was horrible. The script was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And also too, I was very kind of cringed with just like how like the army this is right now, or not army, but like, you know what I mean, that
this
whole the
is.
jargon, like the whole
Yes.
crew, and they're yelling at each other.
I was like, I'm
It's
sure this is exactly what it's like.
Yeah, honestly, I'm like, we're right next to each other. We don't need to be yelling at each
Yeah.
other. Calm down.
And they're like,
Yeah.
delete the I don't know, all of
Yeah.
it. But yeah, it
Mhm.
felt very video game. And so we
Mhm.
went from that beautiful countdown to that. And I
Yeah.
was like, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like each time that the films reset to that, I was like, okay, can we?
could just cut all this out.
Yeah, I was like, let's skip
go
this
back to the
part.
guys watching.
Yeah, I was like, I'm more interested in the films,
Yeah.
which is honestly the whole point.
Yeah.
But like the overall plot was not my
Yeah.
fave for this one.
Yes.
I put at one point, I think it's like Slater because he's the dumbest fucking one.
Yeah.
He said something about like shoot it, sniff it, and I put bop it.
Literally.
I don't
Tap it.
remember what he was talking about, but he was like shoot it, sniff it, do, and
Bop it.
then I put bop it.
Oh, I remember those. Man, those are fun. I would feel about like the fifth thing.
Yeah, I was terrible at it.
Yeah.
I was terrible at Simon Says too.
I don't think I ever played that. You mean like the one where people tell you what Simon says?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
then they also had
Yeah.
like a game
Mm-hmm.
sort of
Oh,
where you could
okay.
play by yourself
Gotcha.
essentially,
Okay.
or like no one had to be Simon.
Mhm.
But like I was terrible at real Simon Says too. Like
Right.
red light, green light, I would have been dead. I would have been dead the first episode of Squid Games.
Oh,
like-
Squid Game.
Out. I still haven't finished it, so don't say anything
Oh,
else.
okay. Gosh, red light, green light though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'd get pretty far on that one, but the other ones, no.
I'd be good at the cookie game.
You think so?
No, my hands are too shaky.
Mine too. Literally
I would
shaking
like.
right now.
I would be like, oops, crack the
Ooh,
cookie
bam.
first thing.
Bullet through
Anyways.
your head.
Anyways, back to the movie again. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It feels like the whole thing's set up kind of like a haunted house. Like
Mhm.
when they find that,
Yeah.
he's like, "That's the guy from my video store." That was so funny.
Literally.
But it's literally like through a cage.
Yeah.
And so I
Mhm.
was like, that is a haunted house.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like they're walking through a haunted house right now.
Yep.
And no one's responding.
Nope.
And they come across the airplanes and they're like, oh shit, these people might be more well armed than we think.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I think I'm fucking airplanes.
Yeah. It's like a whole base almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, we might be in over our heads.
Mhm.
And they are like trying to call for backup. It doesn't seem like anyone's
Mhm.
responding.
And then they hear
The
distorted
telecom
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Intercom?
The announcement.
Yeah. There you go. Over the loudspeakers.
That is being made saying,
All are welcome.
yeah, all are welcome. That's saying that something the like,
I have it here actually.
okay, yes, great. Read it.
All are welcome. All are watching. Finally, followers, tonight is the night you've been waiting for. Track my signal. The signal is the stimulant.
The signal is the
sedative.
stimulant. Yeah.
Yeah. The signal is the salvation.
Ba,
Yeah.
ba, ba.
Boom. Yeah. You already know some shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
And
So
she's not talking to these guys at
we're
all.
into some like culty shit
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's a signal that's being spread apparently that
Yeah.
is, and all these people are in front of TVs. They
Mhm.
start uncovering more bodies
Yeah.
as they move throughout this kind of haunted house.
Yep.
That
Through
are
like-
all sitting in front of television screens with their eyes
Mhm.
gouged out.
Literally.
No eyeballs. Ouchie, ouchie.
And yeah. And then they see one dude and they try to tell him to like whatever, not move, but I mean he's dead. So
Mhm.
he's not moving. He's not going
Yeah.
anywhere. Yeah.
They're like, oh. And then
Mhm.
that's when they're like, that's Tom from
Yeah.
my video store. I put Slater is pretty dumb.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole time they're just like, Slater's like saying I think he's the one who said the shoot it, sniff it.
Yeah.
And he's just being a fucking tool. And then everyone's like, fucking sit down, Slater. Like,
That's his
shut
role to
up.
play.
Yeah. He's the idiot. He is the Gary.
Literally.
Of this one.
The town fool.
Mm-hmm.
The village fool. Yeah.
But we get to the first film now,
Mm.
pretty much. Like, I feel like nothing else
No, that's pretty much
really
it.
happens. Yeah. We
Let's
get to the
skip
first
all
film.
that.
And we're talking about a rat man is what I put.
Man.
I was like, rat man? I was like, is this, I put, is that Master Splinter down there?
Literally, he's raising some turtles.
And then I was like, or it's Pennywise.
Yeah.
Urban
Just
legend
projecting
kind
at
of thing.
someone else's fear as a rat, maybe. Yeah. Instead of the clown.
The one scene, so we've got Holly, is her name, right? Yeah. Holly and Jeff
reporter.
are going around interviewing some people.
I really loved too, like the whole like their little news segment. She was giving me such like, reporter vibes.
Oh yes, she was a like spot on reporter.
Literally had that roll down.
Yeah, she did.
But yeah, so there's a rat man apparently going around the city, and
they're interviewing people who have
had
seen
encounters
him.
or seen him.
Yeah, encounters. We get I don't remember who the first person was, but then we get the priest.
The priest was so like,
and he's saying
he
like,
will come back
it's
later.
the sinners, blah blah blah. They deserve this. And then she's literally like, okay.
Literally, that's my favorite part. She's just like,
She's
Bye.
like, this bitch is crazy. And I was like, yes.
Literally.
Cracked me up. And then they get weird gunman.
Yeah.
Who's just sitting there. And that scene really did remind me. Like, I was like, man, we might be in Derry. Like, with the bridge and then the opening to the tunnel. I was like, well, we are getting some Pennywise vibes.
Maybe some homage there.
Yeah. And so I was
Never
like,
know.
that's kind of cool. But he's also weird. And he's like, I saw him right over there. And then he just kind of stops talking. And he's like, and then she's like, okay, we got enough. Like, and they're sitting there. She's calling the director or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how television news works.
Their producer. Maybe.
Producer, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, get more.
Yeah.
And then what Jeff tries to make, I put LOL, not the move, Jeff. He says something. He's like, you look pretty stressed. She's like, do you want to go for a drink later? And she's like clearly freaking out. And then she's like, Jeff, fuck you. I was like, yeah,
Literally.
no, Jeff, come on, read the room.
Yeah, and she's
Read
like,
the
what
room,
do you want
buddy.
me to fucking do? When she's talking to her, she's like, you want me to fucking walk through these sewers? What do you want me to do? It's through shit.
And he's like, yes.
Yeah, I love how she goes from just like putting up a fight, just, okay, yes,
Fine.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she
you're
gives
right.
up real
You're right.
fast.
Very fast, yeah.
And so they go in and they're trying to take their first little caption, but then some weird screeching happens, messes up the take. So they have to take it again, but then they realize Weird Gunman is standing
Just
there watching.
In the corner.
Which, like, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I probably would be too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, ooh, the news.
Yeah, literally. What's up?
Like,
It's of the Rat Man?
yeah, I want
Tell you more?
to know more about the Rat Man.
Yeah.
Like, I would, and especially if they just interviewed me, yeah, I'd be sticking around to watch too.
But he was just standing there menacingly.
Yeah, he just looked weird, like a little bump on a
And
log.
they're like, let's change the shot.
Yeah, they're like, let's get out of his eyesight. So they go further into the sewers.
Yeah, because that's a smart idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hello. So yeah, so they descend into these storm sewers, where they find like homeless, like in
He
living
sees
encampments,
something
like, people.
behind her in the recording, prompting them to go further in.
Right.
And so they go in, and they find that little bed. It's got toys in it, and I put, ooh, rat kids. It's not rat kids, so
No.
But I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then Holly's like, we live in the richest country in the world. And she's like, we have to shed light upon this. So we've got the real true reporter coming through.
Yeah.
I felt like a little bit, which is like, bitch, you're not going to do nothing with your story. Like, whatever. But good for you for trying.
Yeah. Literally.
I don't know.
Side note though, when I heard Rat Man, in 6th grade, I created a comic series with my friend named Joshua. And it was called Hawkeye and Ratman.
I love it.
And it was just like
Which one was Hawkeye and which one was Ratman?
Out of us?
Yes.
Oh, I was Hawkeye and he was Ratman.
There we go.
But because I gave no option.
You're like, I am not a rat.
I'm
but you
Hawkeye.
can be.
But the whole idea was that like because hawks eat rats. Or mice, you know what I mean? Because they're like, but they're working together because they're like a Batman and Robin kind of thing.
I see.
Yeah.
Cute.
Remember Joshua and Joshua Comics? Remember DJ, Double J?
Aw.
Yeah. It was a whole thing. We only wrote like one basically, and then the rest were like little scattered pieces of paper.
I want to read it.
Yeah. I kept it for a long time. I honestly don't think I have it anymore.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Hawkeye and Ratman.
Aw.
But I vividly can remember.
I thought you were gonna say you
I think I
had
can
fun.
draw it out like for you. I remember what they look like.
I'm excited. We'll see this later.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the film.
They start moving further in, and this is where I put, this is giving me some hella as above, so below vibes.
Okay, yeah. Look into the catacombs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the way that like he's filming and he's kind of like standing back, like, I don't know. And then she's like, let's go. Like, keep going further, trying to investigate. And so just all of it felt very reminiscent of that film, which again, I love.
Have you heard also to interjection of like the cities underground in Las Vegas?
In Vegas?
Yeah. Have you?
No.
You've been there too a lot.
I go quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, there are tunnels.
I'm about to fucking go underground next
there
time.
are tunnels that are built underneath
I swear
Vegas
I'm moving
from
to
a long
Vegas,
time
y'all.
ago, and apparently there's whole
I'm gonna
like
type this
there's
in right
cities.
now so I can remember.
Yeah, Google it too. There
Lots of places have underground cities.
Yeah, underground cities underneath there.
Underground cities, Vegas. Okay. But we're going back in the.
Mm-hmm.
I will learn more about that and tell you
Later,
next time.
Yeah.
We're still underground. They're being honestly a little snoopy,
Yeah.
a little too much.
Yeah.
She comes around the corner is remarkably calm for seeing that creepy ass fucking man. Like literally when she's like, come look, someone's here.
Literally.
And Jeff pans around the corner to that guy.
Mhm.
It's like a Slender Man looking motherfucker. I put, oh, no,
I'm
to
out.
that man.
No.
I think I literally was like, nope.
Don't do it, Holly. Don't do it, Jeff.
And then she's like, I think this is where he lives. So they start messing in his fucking tent.
That's his home.
Which I'm like, that is rude.
Trespassing.
come
At that
on.
point, you are trespassing, and he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. And she was like, we need to get some shots of that. And I put, y'all need to get the fuck out. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
You need to stop snooping.
It's giving me very Lana Banana vibes from AHS when she's like trying to record like whenever they go back for Jessica Lange and like the asylum's all like crippled and stuff, and the people are like all shitty and stuff like that. That's what it gives me. Very like she's like, I need to get this. Yeah.
I see. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That took me a hot I haven't seen Asylum in so long. That one's been, I haven't watched that one in probably like 9 years.
Deals. Yeah.
It's been since it like came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
so yeah.
then you see the little eye open. I had to rewind it because I was like, what just happened? And the man is like literally covered in shit.
Yeah. Sewage all over him. Just gross. Yeah.
And she's like trying to go talk to him.
Literally.
And I'm like,
it's the way that she's talking to him to me too.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
It's like he's like a little kid.
Yeah.
Or something. Like he's dumb. And it's like, just because you're homeless doesn't mean you don't have a brain.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then that whole scene, she's trying to get information from him. But
she
then
leaves her fucking card.
Literally. It's the way that she's like, well, I'm going to leave my business card right here for you in case you want to call. Like, are you kidding me?
Call you?
Literally, he's fucking covered in shit.
And literally
has no fucking phone.
And when he just
liquid.
out of his mouth, that is like, ooh, that's so gross. And I think that's when I was eating the chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. No.
Yeah. And then he's like, Ratma.
Yeah. And I was like, Rat? What?
I thought this was Ratman.
Yeah. And so that's when you think like, oh, maybe there is something actually going on here.
And then they try to fucking run away, but nope. Don't get too far.
I can't get over the card.
The card though, yeah.
And Jeff just like pretty much is like, once he sees Holly's not there anymore, he's like, fuck it, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you, Holly.
For real.
I'm going for myself. He went back for like 2 seconds and then was like, nope.
It.
And they both get attacked.
Yeah,
they're both
get captured.
Yep. And then
taken deeper into the sewers.
we get them. They're not dead yet, though.
No,
they were just rendered unconscious. Then we come to with Holly sitting there, and she's acting real like, I can help you guys, like blah blah blah. And it's like, bitch, you are surrounded by poo-poo covered people now that are having black shit ooze from their teeth and mouth.
They don't want your help.
I think
they're beyond the help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to reevaluate your life choices right there.
Literally.
I don't think I would be. I think I'd just be like, I got legs. We about to run.
Yeah,
I'd be
honestly.
looking for
or even
my
then
out.
just like let them just kill yourself. Take the easy way out, because I mean you don't know these series. It's dark. How the hell are you gonna get out? You don't know where they take you to.
Yeah,
like
because the whole being chased is terrifying.
It's like
witches.
Predator.
She does.
a long time ago. You know, just put the shit all over you. Maybe they won't notice that you're not like that. Maybe you're one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of us.
I don't know if I could put shit all over me though.
Yeah.
I don't think I could get to that point. I don't think I want to survive that much.
No.
Yeah.
I'd be like, honestly, you're doing me a favor at this point.
I don't understand how she's not gagging this whole time.
Yes, she was so worried about going in the poop, and now I guess at this point she's more worried about her life. So,
Yeah.
But anyways, first big plot twist.
First big plot twist.
I was trying to read my notes. It's the fucking priest.
The fucking priest.
He comes up.
Literally.
I put, shit, it's a priest in my notes.
Literally.
And he's talking all this religious jargon about how it's the sinners and blah blah blah, but we have a new order. Yeah, a new God, and it's Ratma. And this capybara looking motherfucker.
Literally. Capybara. For
That's what it
half
looked like.
man, half rat, half, yeah.
And then it also kind of reminded me of the rodents of unusual size from Princess Bride.
I don't think I've seen The Princess Bride.
Oh, it's a great film.
Isn't
You
the
should
one
watch
with
it.
Julius Roberts?
No.
Julia? Oh no, The Princess Bride. What's that one?
The Princess Bride is
I'll look it up later.
Yeah, there's so much.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm
sorry.
trying to think of all the big things. Like, my name is Inigo Montoya.
I don't know
You
what
killed
that
my
is.
father. Prepare to die.
I don't know what that is.
Or the
Oh.
Inconceivable. And
I
it's
don't know any of those references.
Okay, cool,
Wow,
yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. Okay.
It's a
Is this a
classic. It's a
rom-com?
love. No,
Yeah.
it's not. Well, I guess it is a
Yeah.
comedy
There's
too.
a drama or something.
It's very good.
Film. Okay, cool.
It's definitely a romance. Anyways,
we got Ratma, this capybara looking
capybara,
bitch, as Caitlin puts it.
and they've got some sort of acidic spit
Yeah,
that will
it's the black
fucking
liquid.
melt your
Yeah.
face off,
Yeah,
because it sure as hell melted Jeff's face off.
but why isn't it melting off their faces when they're vomiting?
I don't know. I guess it's,
because they're a part of the culture,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Well, and it's
Or-
he says we have to see if you're like worthy.
Okay.
So maybe it's like a capability.
Mm-hmm. Or
that-
maybe it's just like
If
we don't
you,
know.
yeah, I don't. If you are like
we don't know the
willing to
criteria.
follow us,
Yeah.
this shit won't burn you. I don't
Maybe
know.
he was putting up too much of Defiant, like in his mind. You know, his
Mhm.
mind wasn't bendable. So
Yeah.
There's like
Not pliable. Couldn't
Mhm.
be taught.
Yeah.
Um,
And they pour that shit over Jeff's face, and it burns him to death.
melts it right off.
Loop. Yep.
He gone. And then they're like, we have to see if you're worthy.
Mm-hmm.
And so this thing comes and spits on her.
Mm-hmm.
Little capybara spits on Holly, and
She don't burn.
she's
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
And so
it's
then
just growling, and it's just like, yeah.
and then it flashes back to this fucking.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this veggie masher
veggie masher
ad so much. It
Yeah.
was disturbing. It
Mhm.
really was.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that part had to be probably one of my favorite parts of the whole movie.
Wow.
Was just that veggie masher ad, because
Honestly, yeah.
it was so very much like an actual,
Ad.
made as seen on TV ad.
Mm-hmm.
But the man, his eyes, like he had the like crazy
Mhm.
eyes, which most of them do.
They do.
Like the ShamWow dude, fucking weird.
Yeah. He's in a lot of them too. Is the
Yeah.
ShamWow dude, like in the chopper and all these things?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
You're
in
talking
a
about-
lot.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
And so he just
That's
like
the
he
genre.
really gave that vibe.
Yeah.
And then the way that the vegetables were, they looked like they'd been overcooked.
Yeah.
And pretty much he's like, you can mash them up into any paste. And it's like, who the fuck would want to do that? That
Yeah.
sounds disgusting. And just the way that it was so panned in on these vegetables getting, sorry,
Literally.
I'm like smacking the table.
Literally, you guys. Caitlin's got a veggie masher.
I am the veggie master. Master.
You are
Master
both.
masher.
You are 2 in 1. 3 in 1.
But it was fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And
It
I
was.
was like, oh shit. And then it flashes back and we've got Holly being rescued
Yep.
and she's back on air with her co-host
Mm-hmm.
again. And I put, oh, she's here to spread the word.
Yep.
She's here to spread the word of Ratma.
Literally.
And that's what she does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's sitting there talking and
trying to, and all like Ratma comes out of her mouth
She's
for every
like,
other word.
on Friday there will be this in Hail Ratma and blah 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 Ratma blah 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 Ratma.
Ratma. Literally.
And then that's when Homeboy starts going like, what
What the fuck is happening with this bitch?
And then she spits on him and his face melts off.
On
I
air.
loved
Love
it.
it. Yeah.
I was like, this is so cheesy. It's amazing.
And then everybody fucking freaks out.
yeah, because she's just spitting black liquid and he's like literally ripping his face off. And
Yeah.
you're getting like
Full
flesh in the
effects.
eyeballs.
Yeah.
Like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Cheesy but good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
I mean,
yes.
They went all the way. Yeah. most
It just
definitely.
gave me very classic horror vibes.
Mhm.
And I loved it. I was like, that is cool. And then she just kind of like dabs her little black shit and is like, Ratma, yeah.
El Ratma.
And I was like, okay.
They got her.
I
They got our
liked
girl
it.
Holly, man.
Yeah. I was
Hey,
a fan. And so the first
yeah,
film ends
it's
with
pretty-
that.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
Like, whoever wrote it, it's a good story.
I liked
liked
that
it.
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was fun. And then so we back in our haunted house raid
Mhm, yep.
scene.
With the officers.
And they come and stumble. God damn it. Stumble
You're good.
on all these mannequins and
Mhm.
dolls.
Oh yeah.
And they're all sitting around.
They're
and
severed.
I made a note and I was like, this hiking looks like my house.
and
And then something
I can see that.
settled right next to my TV, which is where Annabelle sits.
yeah.
And I was like
What do you mean something settled?
something, like I heard a
A noise.
movement.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I said, I swear to fucking God, I just heard Annabelle move. Because I was watching this
Literally.
like at 11 o'clock last
She's like
night.
my friend.
Yeah. And I was like, oh God, I wonder if any of my dolls are getting like excited about
Yeah.
this. And,
Or
'cause, like,
triggered.
I was literally typing in the middle of like, ooh, this looks like my house.
Yeah.
And then I heard the
Yeah.
move from where she is. And I was like, it's dark over there. I couldn't see in that corner. And I was like, I
Yeah.
swear to God, she's fucking moving.
I
I'm gonna lose my
mean,
mind.
I love that you love your dolls, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I even have like a
Fear of dolls.
fear of dolls really, but like my mind would just start playing tricks on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Again, I think I'm so desensitized to it. But I think when I kind of acknowledged it in that moment,
Mhm.
and probably like it was probably just something like air conditioning kicking on or something. But it did seem like something settled over there, like like something was like slightly askewed, and then it went,
Mm.
you know.
Me with my shadows, yeah. I feel
So-
you. Hey, we all have our thing.
I probably was just thinking about it, but
Yeah. When you're also watching a horror movie
yes,
Yeah.
So I'm a
Mhm.
little like on edge already, sitting
Mhm.
there in the dark
with
with all my
mannequins
dolls
cut up.
and mannequins, and dolls are on the TV, and it's a horror movie, and so I was like, oh, maybe I
Yeah.
should be afraid of my surroundings.
A little more aware and observant.
Yeah.
We all should, yeah. But yeah, so all the mannequins, and then we get into our next little film. Yep. Which is at a funeral home.
Yep. And my
Yeah.
immediate thought was, because he's setting up the thing, and I was like, who the fuck films a funeral?
Yeah.
And then he was like, sometimes people just have really weird requests. And I was like, oh, okay. He answered my question.
Good. Yeah.
Because I
literally
had
right
like
there.
said it out loud. And then he responded, and I was like, okay,
That's funny.
okay, you're here?
Yeah. Ooh, we like your work. Literally.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
So what are they, like a gay funeral owner homing couple?
something
That's
like
kinda
that.
fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's like-
very 2021.
Yeah.
Very 2020.
Super
Good one.
into our, oh, and then if we didn't say this already, all of this is taking place in 94.
Yeah.
All of these
obviously,
films
yeah.
were in 94.
Yeah.
And we get the hella 90s angles
Mhm.
with this one. Once they set up the camera with the like, it's like every toothpaste commercial is still, or like Sensodyne. Sensodyne's commercials are like, I think all filmed in the 90s, and they've just kept them because they're all on this like diagonal.
Yeah.
All the angles are like, the shot is never just straight. It's at this angle, and it's like, Sensodyne helps my teeth, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But that's what this
That's what
funeral
is giving
home
you.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I feel that one. They kept up with that for the most part through all of these little films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 90s vibe.
So they did a good job of bringing the 90s like
Mhm.
television. But again, so I maybe I don't understand how wakes work. Do they last all night? Is that a thing? You can go like 24/7 to visit the body?
Maybe in other cultures or times. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to an actual wake. I've been to a viewing. I've
Yeah.
been to like a rosary, but I don't know what a wake is per se. Maybe that's something we should look up.
Yeah,
But
I
it
meant to,
might-
and then I was like, maybe Josh
I mean,
will know.
I know that a
How does
viewing is
a
like you go
wake
for a couple hours
work?
and then just like, pay your respects.
A
But-
wake is typically held in a funeral home and takes place the afternoon or evening before the funeral. Okay, so it just
I
seems
feel like
like
that's the same thing as a rosary. Like it's just, the
Or a viewing.
Catholic version of it.
Yeah.
And the viewing, yeah.
so But this one is apparently taking place overnight.
Yeah, they leave the building for the night. Yeah.
Because he says, I'll come relieve you in the morning, is what he says as he's leaving this like new girl, essentially, to sit with a body overnight.
Miss
when
Haley.
a big storm is happening. And that's,
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be there. Yeah, no.
I don't care
That's
if
not
people
my
are
juju.
coming. Like the fact that I would have to at all be alone with this dead body, I'd be like, no, someone else has to stay.
Like,
Thanks.
that's someone else's shift, not mine. Yeah.
And they already are realizing.
But she already works at a funeral home, though. So maybe she loves the Mekbar. Maybe she loves death. Maybe she loves that.
Yeah, the macabre might be her actual thing, but I don't know. She didn't seem like, she seemed a little creeped out.
Yeah.
But they all realized, like already, the casket was askew.
Yeah.
And the two other guys were like, did you move it? And he's like, no, I didn't move it. I didn't move it. And then they're talking about how he was in a terrible accident. This guy's...
Imagine you've booked a dazzling vacation home perfect for your honeymoon.
Nice.
The house has it all. A pool, a spectacular view, and also the weird owner who lives behind a locked door in the hallway.
Hello! I can assure you I shan't be watching you during your stay, so why even bring it up?
Nope. We're leaving.
When you'd like a romantic vacation getaway instead of having to get away from your vacation, it matters where you stay. At Hilton, you can expect accommodations that meet your expectations. Hilton for the stay.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.
Honestly, kind of a fucking dick. He was just sitting there and he was just being like, yeah, he's like real fucked up. What parts are left of him? And they pieced him back together. No wonder he's having a closed casket.
Yeah.
And
very insensitive.
Yeah. And he's just really messing with her too. And like putting her more on edge. She's already scared. And he's really just making it worse. But I also I was like, why she got to sit with the body all night? I just don't get it.
I know.
Like,
Couldn't
that seems not realistic.
Yeah, and
like,
also too, like, why
there.
is there a wake happening all night? Like, what? Like, who?
Yeah, I just don't understand why it's 24. Like, unless it's supposed to be an all night thing, but I don't think it is.
And well, we wouldn't have a movie if we didn't a little film if it wasn't.
That's true.
You got to stay here all night because you have to die.
She calls them several times because all of a sudden, like, she's sitting there walking around, no one's coming, and she's starting to get unsettled.
Even though
she's
they said we're just a call away. Yep. Nope.
And so she calls them, and they are not pleased that she is called.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's fine. Like, the people just probably can't get out in this storm and stuff like that. And then
but all while, by the way, there's this severe thunderstorm, massive, horrible storm happening. Yeah.
And so no one can come out. And so not only
so
is
then why does she need to be there?
Yeah.
Literally.
It's nighttime with a dead body and the thunder's going. Like, you're in a funeral home. You're in prime spooky area. I would be on edge too.
Yeah. Well, and obviously if you think that the body inside a casket is alive when it should be dead.
Especially because, then that's when the first thud happens.
Yeah.
And we hear a boom, and the casket kind of moves a bit. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she goes and calls her friend, leaves a voicemail because she's like, fuck, I want to talk to someone. Like, I need to see a little bit about this. Like, do the people hate him? Like, was he trash? Like, reaching out because the funeral home owners are not willing to help her.
Yeah. She needs some kind of relief. They're like, am I going crazy or not?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So she calls up a friend. Friend doesn't answer, though. Yes, I would have called someone immediately
Call one
as
of y'all.
well.
Yeah, for sure. It's the way that I would have called one of y'all before I called the police.
Yes. So it's the same. That's what I fucking did when that one time someone was on my back patio, like destroying it.
Yeah.
I called my mom.
Yeah.
Instead of the police. No one answered.
And your mom didn't answer?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the police didn't answer.
Because it was at 2. Yeah, I called the police. No one answered.
No one answered.
No.
They were busy.
Well, I didn't want to bother them. That's why I didn't call. And I was freaking out.
They're here to serve you.
Yeah.
Anyways, it should be.
But so she's sitting there again, going back. A lot of this film is just the different camera angles, watching her pace and be like
losing her goddamn
Okay,
mind,
yeah,
being
well.
scared as fuck.
And
Yeah.
she's sitting there, and we get a wonderful, I put love a good phone ring scare
Mhm.
because it's pretty quiet. And then all of a sudden,
Bring.
and she jumps. And I was like,
Yeah.
I love that because it's a jump scare, but without it being tacky.
Mhm.
Like, it's just enough where you're on edge and
Yeah.
it's quiet.
You were already feeling the suspense.
And then your heart goes, oh.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's just a phone.
Just a fucking
Just a
phone.
phone.
Mm.
And so I mean, it's very reminiscent of The Ring and stuff. I loved
Yeah.
it. So I was like, this is cool.
And it's her friend.
And says that, don't you know who this man was? Like,
Yeah.
he, I guess, was shouting some weird culty shit
Oh, yeah,
from the top of a church and
Yeah.
then jumped right as the families were coming in. So probably traumatized quite a few people
Literally.
as he smashed his brain on the concrete. Yum. But
Brains.
then she doesn't really get any answers aside from, yeah, this guy was pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why, yeah, not a lot of people are coming. But then she loses power and you see
The
someone
building goes into darkness.
standing in the background. Did you notice that?
I
I rewound
honestly.
it to make sure I didn't see it.
Yeah.
like
you're
not
making
see
up. Yeah.
So when she loses power, there's a first lightning strike. There's no one there. And then a
the
second one,
And there's a shadow.
it's a white figure. It's like
Oh,
a
okay.
person in white
Oh, okay.
standing there. And then they move slightly. And then she goes and tries to go find the candelabra. And I honestly expected that person to pop up again. Didn't.
No.
So I liked that. I
Yeah.
like to be teased like
want.
that. It's a good edging.
Yeah, it is.
And,
It gives you a little spook without giving you the whole, like,
Without
this
the whole
was
picture.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Without it, yeah.
It
Leaves a
really-
little bit more mystery there. A little bit more for the imagination to go wild.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And so I was a fan. Power comes back on though,
Mm-hmm.
right as she lights the little candles. And that's when
Yeah. She
during that
discovers
scene though,
that the doors are chained. She's locked in.
not yet.
Oh.
Not yet, she hasn't.
Okay.
But
Right.
that whole scene when she loses power and stuff, and she takes the camera with her because it's a source of light.
Yeah.
And she's looking for the candelabra. That scene made me really fucking nervous because
Mhm.
again, just like I said with
suspense.
with VHS,
Yeah.
it felt like I was in the movie, and it really felt like I was in there with her. And like when she sets the camera down on the chair, like I felt very helpless. Like when she was going to light the candelabra, I was like, oh my god, you're gonna die. And I was just like, I can't do anything to help you. I'm on the chair.
About to happen. You feel
Even
it.
though I can't do anything because it's a movie.
Yeah.
But I really liked that part. I
That's
felt
awesome.
like I was immersed
Yeah.
in the film. And I was
I
like,
love
good
when a
job.
movie does that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then she hears more knocking on the coffin. She goes and knocks on the coffin. I'm like, do you want to
there?
respond? She's like, waiting.
Literally.
And then she's like, I'm like, do you want him to knock
Yeah.
back? Like, don't
Apparently.
don't touch the
She
fucking
just needed
coffin.
some confirmation that she wasn't losing her mind.
Yeah, she calls, and then the guy's like, just take a little peek in there. And I was like, please do not fucking take a look in there.
Mm-mm.
Do not peek in there. Are you crazy?
Yeah. Literally.
But then someone shows up.
Mm-hmm.
A weird little man does. And he comes and he sits down and says some weird shit. Do you know what he was saying to her?
No, it was a different language.
Oh,
though.
okay.
Yeah. it
Different
was a
language. And I was like, is he resurrecting him right now? I didn't know. I was like, what is going
He could have
on?
been.
Because he really just like came in and was like, yeah, the storm.
Mhm.
And then she
Blah, blah,
tried to
blah,
hand him
blah,
a
blah.
little
Mhm.
pamphlet thing. And he was just like, pretty much is like, I'm done with you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this dead body now. Says his little thing. And then he goes, okay, bye.
Literally.
And just dips.
Just leaves. I'm going to drop that on you.
Yep. And then she's like trying to look out the window to be like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
and that's when the coffin really starts.
To move and shake and rattle.
Yup. Because the picture fucking knocks off. The casket's like bumping now. That's like
He's raging.
hydraulic. What is
Literally.
that called?
Hydraulics. Yes.
Yeah.
Hydraulics.
So the fucking coffin's like bouncing around, falls off, and that's when she's like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Fuck. Yeah.
And that's when she realizes
That
that,
the-
motherfucker locked her in.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker locked her in.
Was it the Hungarian
Or he was
guy?
a ghost. I'm guessing. He had
Was
to
it
have.
not the owners?
Well, they could have locked her in, yeah, and he was a ghost.
Yeah. Maybe they're all in
Possible.
on it together.
Or
Yeah.
that man was like, I'm going to resurrect this motherfucker,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to lock you
Do
in.
some necromancy.
Mhm. And so I think, I feel like he probably locked her
Yeah.
in.
Okay, I see that.
I
But yeah.
put, motherfucker locked her in.
But yeah,
And then you see the body.
the baldy.
It's gross.
Yeah.
He turns around and he's like, he's got half a face at that
Literally.
slant.
Yeah.
Ooh, and his hand, he's busted.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like
mean,
he hopped off a
top of a fucking
yeah.
church building. Yeah.
And ooh, it's gross. And he's oozing this like liquid from the casket that kind of reminded me back at the beginning, right before the countdown.
The ooze,
Remember, yeah,
the
that
white
oozing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder if it ties in.
A
It
lot.
doesn't,
Well, if you think
but-
about it too, well, it doesn't. But that ooze, the white ooze, that's the drug that they're looking for, right? And then, the SWAT team. But then also too, the black stuff that vomited out of. There's
maybe
a lot
there's
of,
a lot of
like,
oozing.
yeah. It's
I
like
wonder if other people oozed.
like theme tied in through that at least.
I'm trying to. I don't think it's.
Not all of it, but yeah.
Yeah, but so at least pretty consistent with gross shit oozing.
Mhm.
And then the man had come in and he had mentioned there was a tornado warning.
Yeah.
And
Which will come into play here in a little bit.
yeah,
Mhm.
she's running around trying to hide from this guy, and she realizes he can't see her because
Yeah, half of his face is
his
head.
eyeballs
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
on the other half of his
Yeah.
face,
Mm-hmm.
which we come across later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he cannot see her.
She's hiding.
She's hiding. But then eventually the other half of his head
Mhm.
sees her.
Yeah, we find it. It's nice diagonally cut on
Yeah.
the bias. Little slice of head sitting there.
Aw, little slice of pie,
Aw.
little slice of head.
And his eyes are closed at first, but then he
Mhm.
opens it and he starts looking around and he makes eye contact, and that's when you realize
Yeah.
they're connected.
And so
And
the
the
body.
body finds her.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. And well, that's the body finds her, but then the tornado hits
Yeah.
at the same
At
time.
the same exact time. Yeah.
And so, which that scene was wild.
Yeah.
Like wind just rushes. It's like
Yeah.
they
The way that
did a
they
good
had to film
job.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it looked. I don't know. I'm
Pretty
terrified of fucking
fucking real.
tornadoes. We've talked about this.
Yeah. I'm not a fan.
But then
Scary.
she like kind of comes back. It settles down and you see her like tattered body
Mhm.
get up,
Yeah.
and then she just walks out the window. So I'm like, did she
She's-
jump or? Because the way she looked down after
Yeah.
that man left made me think that they were on like the second floor.
Yeah.
But then she just kind of walked out of it, and I didn't hear a thud. So I don't know.
I think that the body actually did get to her, and maybe she's now like a zombie,
A zombie
now or
thing.
something. Yeah, some sort of now possessed or
Gonna go spread
something
some other
infected.
weird
yeah,
word.
Yeah. It got infected. She got infected somehow.
A lot of spreading the word of people on here. I don't know. It was gross. So, but that's how it ends. It
That was a
cuts
good one,
with her
yeah.
walking out.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Yep.
It was very. I don't know.
Yeah.
And but-
now we have to go back to the SWAT people.
which at this point stuff's getting a little weird.
Yeah.
I be honest, I fell asleep at this point, but that's because
Mm.
I was sleepy, and so then I had to watch the other half of this morning.
Gotcha. So
Um,
that part's a little blurry. Yeah,
but
you
yes.
didn't miss much really at all. Actually,
I
though.
put LOL a grave digger. Someone said grave digger. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then even in this part, we're getting very religious
Mhm.
still.
It's setting up like a more so of a cult. Something's happening
Yeah,
here.
it was
Yeah.
giving me Heaven's Gate vibes.
Mm.
The one where they all wore the tracksuits and they thought that like someone was going to come from space, and they
Oh.
were having. So the
Yeah. I know. I think I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
What
That's a
was-
cult that happened in real life, right?
yes.
Yeah.
What was happening though in the film, the way that was saying like the signal is the
Mhm.
everything.
The salvation, the something. Yeah.
It very much reminded me of like, and they pretty much they're saying that we were all going to go out together
Yeah.
is what it was saying, and that's very much like Heaven's Gate was.
Mhm.
And they drink I think they're the ones who drink the purple Kool-Aid or whatever, and they
Yeah.
wore these matching tracksuits.
Yeah.
They're like, I think they might not have been velour. Maybe I'm embellishing that fact, but
That's not the Jim Jones, right?
no.
That's different because didn't they drank something? It
Mhm.
wasn't Kool-Aid, I guess, but okay, yeah.
But yeah, so they all thought that a big spaceship
Mhm.
was going to come get them,
Yeah.
and they were all going to go together.
That's wild.
It is. And so it gave me that kind of vibes. But then the third film we get into, we've got this deranged doctor.
Mad scientist.
Very Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Trying
Very
to build.
ambitious.
Yes.
Super ambitious.
It starts off with this close up of a face waking up and like coming to life, and then you realize
he don't have his body.
it's just a head attached to
some spider legs.
Yes, and I was like, "What the hell is like? Where's Sid?
Sid. That's
Toy
what I was
Story?
thinking.
Yeah,
Literally, Toy Story.
Like, where's Sid?
This is him grown up.
Uh-huh.
This is Sid.
That's what I put too.
He became a
Yay.
doctor.
See, glad that
Changed his name
glad we both
because
thought
he ended
that.
up murdering Andy and having to leave town.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's what really happened.
the true story.
But yeah, it very much gave me those kind of vibes. So this guy is trying to essentially create a more perfect human, I
Yeah,
guess, in
yeah.
his mind that could be melded with technology.
Yeah.
He's trying to get a mind that can comprehend being attached
to the body and
something.
survive. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
He wants to create a mechanical human hybrid.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the next scene is this one man kind of locked up. He's I guess pinned to some sort of board, but he's got his wrists and ankles tied up, and then he's got this band across his belly, and he's got a ball gag in his mouth.
Yeah.
And then
Gets me very S&M.
yes,
But,
I was like, also would be into that. Just don't cut my brain out after,
Literally.
please.
Giving me little hostile vibes.
And then she's sitting there in a chair, and he cuts her little skull open.
Yeah. He's giving her a
gets
lobotomy.
Well, he's taking her whole cranium off.
Mm-hmm.
Lobotomy is the ice pick through the.
You're
But-
right. Yeah.
He goes and he takes her brain and the top half of her head, as we later find out. And again, we have more raids. And this is the part that really gave me, other guy wakes up and then he kind of was like, I didn't give you enough.
Sedative.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then it cuts to the raid people.
Yeah.
But not our actual raid people. These people are trying to find this crazy doctor man.
Yeah.
And again, I put really just feels like a first person shooter. And then as they were like going in and going ham with like the doctor after everything started going to shit.
Yeah.
Some of the graphics were worse than video games that I've seen. I was like,
Yeah,
Sony
they
has
were.
some really fucking amazing graphics on some of their video games. And so
This puts this to shame.
yeah, I was like, it also reminded me in the second Hobbit when they had the water, the wine, they're escaping in the little
Oh, yeah.
what are those called?
Where the elf country is?
Yeah,
right?
and they're escaping from in the little barrels.
Yeah.
That barrel scene
I know what
was
you're talking about. Okay.
so bad that I was like, is this not done? Did they not finish this? Like the graphics were trash, and it kind of reminded me of that.
I haven't seen that movie since it came out. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
I didn't watch it again after that. I was like, no, it's garbage. But SA is the girl who's missing. And she is, we then find out, the one whose body we kind of wake up in.
Yeah.
Because it is being filmed from her eyes.
Yeah.
Because she is now a robot,
She's
humanoid creature thing.
Yeah.
And I loved the dialogue of him just talking. Like that actor, the crazy doctor man.
Yeah.
Really
Good actor. Yeah.
Yes.
Played his role well.
He looked deranged.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's just like, blah, blah, blah. He was like, I was like, damn, you look real crazy. Like, I would believe that you are like this in real life.
For real. He's not even acting.
Yeah.
He's just being himself.
This is just him. And so,
Yeah.
again, it feels like we found actual footage of like someone actually being like that. I don't know. So I
it makes
thought
it
they
all
did a
the
good
more
job.
real for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Aside from the
vibes, yeah.
graphics later on. But
It helps when it's quote unquote found footage.
yes.
Yeah.
And so it felt really realistic. And then we realized that SA is still conscious, like of her actual life.
Yeah.
Because there's the news segment playing
flashes by,
about
yeah.
him, and then she recognizes herself on the television, and he's like, you have to let go of your old life, like to become new. Like
Perfect.
you are so far his most successful creation.
Yeah.
And as we find out later, he tried a lot.
Yeah.
So
Very.
then that's when all the cop men's come in and they shoot the doctor.
Mhm.
They shoot him right dead. They really kind of go overboard. They shot him like, they had like machine guns, like automatic weapons. I
There
don't
doesn't
know
need to
how
be that
guns
many
work.
bullets. Yeah.
And they just went like they unloaded a lot of rounds into him. I was like, this okay, he's dead, guys. We get it.
He's dropped.
But so then she gets up and she's trying to escape from them.
Yeah.
The way she crab walks away in one scene is so fucking scary because she's
crab walking in general.
because it's not an easy way to get around.
And it's not, you see it and it doesn't look natural.
No,
at all.
it's not.
Yeah.
And so she just like kind of crab walks away, and I was like, hard pass, hard pass. And then they're still kind of looking around. They're trying to find her now because they're trying to kill her. Yeah, because she is
not
a human.
Yeah,
and the guy's like, I wouldn't even want to bring this back to her family.
Yeah,
his other guy, Echo, I think is his name, or no, Jono. Jono was like, that's not our choice to make. Like, because it should be the family to decide, like, if they want to find her again. But he's like,
that's not our decision to kill her. Basically,
and which I guess he's right, but then also like, I want
put me out of my misery, please.
Yeah. I don't know, but she didn't. She wanted to live. Yeah, that is kind of the whole point of this part. We see at one point too before this that the doctor was like experimenting with some giant knife sword thing and putting it on someone's hand. Yeah. And then so once she's gone, this motherfucker wakes up with the giant knife hand, and he looks like Jar Jar Binks mixed with Pyramid Head.
That's what I was getting. Yeah.
The head like shape was very Jar Jar Binks.
Or what's it called? Silent Hill?
Silent Hill.
There we go. Yeah.
And then when he stood up with that big old knife arm, which Pyramid Head doesn't have a hand for a knife, but he's got his fat ass blade that he like lugs around and his big old head. And so, I was like, one of the guys just got killed by a Jar Jar Binks looking Pyramid Head is what I wrote. And that's when we get into the really first person shooter vibes, like bad. But then there was that one scene where they shoved the pole through the head, and I really liked that. It was like
really gory. Yeah.
And then they dragged the pole along the wall. I was like, cool. I love it.
Right here for the blood, for the guts and the gore.
This movie especially had a shit ton of guts. Everywhere. Like, I mean, the way that the like first guy got impaled, like, which reminded me a little bit of like Michael with the single hand lifts him up. Yeah. And then when he went to go throw him away, he just like nothing, severs like the body in half. Yeah. I was like, damn, that's something. And you got guts flying out of it. It was pretty cool. I was like, nice. But then they're still looking for this girl, also like worrying about like, shit, like our men are dying. And boss guy sitting there losing his shit. And the way that he acted in that moment too, once he finds Jono, and he did a really great job. He looked very terrified. Yeah. So the head leader of the raid, I didn't know his name. I just put boss guy.
Boss guy.
He did a great job. Jono's name got said a lot, so I knew him. And then, but Jono comes and kills his boss for trying to kill a SA. Yeah. He's like, nah, bitch. And then poor Jono gets murdered anyways.
You already knew it was going to happen.
By Pyramid Head. Jar Jar Pyramid Head. And I was like, oh, poor Jono. And you really see him bleeding out. I was like, oh. I was like, man, SA, put him out of his misery. Just shoot him in the head, please. But she didn't. She seemingly dies. Yeah. But then she gets up and goes explore some more.
Just a little bit.
And then we find some other bodies. Yeah. She kind of puts them out of their misery. Yeah. But then you don't really know. She is still out there, is what it seems like, right? That's how it ended.
She's still out there.
And so then it flashes back to our reality once more. And we find out they killed Gary. And the two lady raiders are in on it. They are part of this cult. Yep, of spreading the word. So they lured Gary and Slater or whatever his fucking name was.
Slater, yeah.
Yeah, into here. And because they were like, does anyone got eyes on Gary, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, haven't seen him, blah, blah, blah. And he's dead right in front of them.
Literally.
And then Slater comes in and they're like, sit down, Slater. And they, and so they're, we find out like, oh shit, okay. They have lured these people in and they are part of it. It's very female lead, it seems.
Yeah. It gives you very the film from the other movie of the girl who led her husband.
Oh,
the
yes.
second honeymoon. Yeah. And on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those same vibes.
Yeah. Because, there was a plot twist. I was like, oh, they're in on it. Okay. Okay. I was like, cool.
Yeah. We're here for it.
And then it flashes to the fourth film. And
Terror.
Yes. I was honestly disgusted. These were like the worst kind of people.
We're bad humans.
In my mind. These men were the worst.
Yeah.
They honestly reminded me a lot of like probably anyone who was at the Capitol on January 6th would have been this same kind of person.
That's what I feel too.
It
made me feel uncomfortable.
Yes. It was disgusting and then also terrifying because
there are real people like this actually out there. There are people like
literally
this,
like neighbors of ours that are like this.
Yeah.
And who think that they're bringing some sort of new order and again, very culty, religious, and it was political.
Religion is a cult. Politics
too. Like they brought up Clinton and stuff at the time, and it was just, I was confused and just these men were so gross. I hated them. But then you see the scene where they go in and they shoot this man in like a little stable, and he dies.
Obviously.
But then
boom.
It pans back to them later, and they shoot him again.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I was like kind of a little bit sleepy because I woke up like at 6 a.m. to start this and finish it. And so I was like, did I just fall asleep a bit? And so I rewound it, and then I was like, oh no, okay.
They literally shot him twice.
I was like, is this Groundhog's Day? Or Groundhog Day? Like I was just, are we looping our life? And then I realized, no, they just keep killing the same person who doesn't seem to be dying.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? Ugh. And then they're saying that God gave them this gift and this one weapon that was supposed to help them bring about this new change. And I was like, I literally wrote, I said, God didn't give y'all shit.
Literally.
Like,
that's y'all. Y'all made that up.
And then they're sitting there. Homeboy brings, I guess he's part of the police, a friend of theirs. And he brings them guns. And these guys are like, I'm getting hard on just looking at these guns. And I'm like, you're getting hard over guns.
So
I was like, you are trash.
That's on point though. That's on brand for them.
Yes. I was like, they probably would. I was like, ugh. And then Waco gets a shout out. They said if the people in Waco would have had this much ammunition, they would still be fighting. They'd still be shooting at the FBI and everything. That came in. And I was like, and Waco got a shout out, and I put a upside down smiley face like the
yeah,
great.
That's what we're known for.
Any cult movie, Midsummer mentions Waco as well. Yeah. And so it's just, but I love Midsummer. So but we get
spooky shit.
We get
that
those
didn't even
shout
happen
outs.
in Waco. It didn't even happen in Waco.
Yeah, it was fucking Axtell. Go away. And then I was just confused again. And my notes get so short for this one because I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, how does this man keep dying? I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's happening. Everything, I'm just distracted by the amount of flannel and guns and camo combo that's happening here.
Yeah.
And the ignorance that is there. And I just was like, what? And then they're blowing up a rabbit named Sophie or some shit.
There's a lot going on in this last one.
It's just like, what? It, literally, my notes go, and Waco got a shout out. How does this man keep dying? Poor bunny. And then That's all it is. And that's the last note I have on this film because I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
They all end up like getting blown up and it's essentially backfiring. One guy, I don't know. It was just like a fever dream towards the end. And I was just like, I can't comprehend what is going on.
So anyways, yeah, they all end up dying. And
It
yeah.
flashes back to the main
So
scene,
the main
right?
scene.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And how do our ladies end it? They rip their own eyeballs
They're all
out.
eyes gouged out. Yes, most of all the SWAT team are dead now. Slater is tied to the chair.
They change into their the white tees and like the white button downs with the ties and everything,
Yeah.
and then they gouge their eyes out and everyone's dead.
Yeah.
The cult, they've led people into it, and the signal has, I guess, been transmitted.
Yep.
And that's where it leaves us.
All in all, how did you feel
It
over
was-
this one? It was a wild ride.
Once I
feel like
talk and really talked about that fourth film,
yeah.
I'm just like, I don't even know what I watched anymore. I don't know.
That's the way I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the fourth one.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, just because
I feel like that one it's going to need a few takes, or just me being not, I don't know. Maybe I
Sleepy.
was so
Yeah.
also just like disgusted by the humans that I was like, I can't
Mhm.
even, like, they are literally some of the
You
worst.
couldn't invest in it.
I was
Yeah.
just like, ugh. But I mean, they all die, which is like, that's good. But overall, this was not as good as the original, which is rare
Yeah.
that anything normally comes close. But it had some really good scenes. Like, I really loved the first and the second film.
Yeah.
The third film was a little, again, the graphics is probably where it lost me a bit, with the like
Viral
whole the
thing.
first person shooter thing, and like how just like it literally looked worse than some video games.
Yeah.
But the storyline there, I was a fan of. I liked.
Yeah, and I can see, like the way that they, like you said, these girls were actually in on it through the whole time. So it kind of brings everything together.
Yeah.
But also too, it was cringe just watching all these guys and well, even the girls too, just like
Yeah, the
very
acting
first-
for the main plot was pretty
very
bad.
not my tea.
not good.
Yeah. But the first
No.
two films were actually really good to me.
Yes, I love the
Rat
Ratman.
Man and Ratma, and then the Funeral Home one.
Was a big fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Those really brought me in. And then, the last film, maybe I need to watch it again. Maybe I'll watch it again, and I'll come back next week and tell y'all.
We'll have some interjections for you.
Yeah, but overall, how many
rating?
boos?
Yeah, how many boos? I honestly, I'll give it a 2.
2?
Yeah, it's not my favorite film.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the first 2 little subplot films in it, but overall, it just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. No, I think I agree.
Yeah.
I think a 2 for me too.
The first one was definitely better. I'm actually intrigued to watch the
Maybe a
second,
2.5.
the VHS 2 and the viral, just to see what they're about. Because it is like, if you were to take the best like 3 films out of the first one and the first 2 from this one, and like,
Then you'd have some quality shit.
yeah.
Because like, I feel like maybe I'll give it a 2.5 just for the first 2 films alone. But then the rest of it really kind of was like,
Yeah.
But I did love the first, like we said, Ratma and the Funeral Home. I really liked those 2. Those were good.
I'm going to be saying
Especially
that.
the Ratma one. That one was solid.
I'm going to be at work just doing something random and be like, oh, hell, Ratma.
And then get some, I don't know, soy sauce in your mouth or something and go.
Literally.
But so I will.
You locking that in?
I think I still liked it better than The Devil Made Me Do It, which I gave that a 2.5. So I'll give this one a 2.5 too.
Okay. Solid.
Yeah, that's overall it was good. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. Really, I just liked the first 2 films.
We'll have to watch the other 2.
What, the VHS 2?
Yeah. Well, you've already seen it,
Sometimes.
but I'll watch it.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it.
I haven't
but
seen the third one,
We can
though.
talk it about amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I honestly do. Some of them, they're really good. And it does give me like, I mean, it is an anthology, I guess, within the main plot of what's happening. But yeah, I like that also too. I think it was more so in the first one that they're also different and unique in their own way, that you really get to watch 5 basic little films
5
all in this
different movies.
one film.
Yeah.
It's super cool. Yeah, I like the idea.
The idea is definitely awesome.
It's really great. Imagine, and I think the budget for the first one was 242,000. Like, imagine like this idea, but like even bigger budget or something, like where you can really just like,
I don't know. Sometimes those low budget films is what does it though.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so good.
well, especially because it's like found footage, so it doesn't need to be.
It doesn't need.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't got to be crystal clear picture. If it's not grainy, we don't want it.
That's what
Grainy
we're saying.
and shaky. But this one, yeah. So 2.2 and a 2.5.
Yeah.
From us. There we go. VHS 94. It's new, so if you've seen it and you've got Shudder, let us know. Let us know what you would give this one. How and if you like it
Or
more
download Shudder.
or less.
Start that free trial and see if you enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
You should, especially for spooky season.
Yeah.
It's the
Not over
perfect
yet.
time to do it. That's right.
And it's spooky 365 here with us.
That's right. Spooky 365 all the time.
We want to shout out and thank you, the lovely Rogue Media Studio Networks, for having us. They always take such good care of us.
They make us sound good.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can always find us on social media platform one, and that is Instagram at
BooBaes Podcast.
That's right, all one word, and BAES, no B, no second B,
Yeah.
third B, fourth,
Third B. Oh God! Don't make me do math.
BooBaes. Oh, I was thinking boob. I don't even know.
But just BooBaes.
BooBaes.
You
Yep.
got it. You heard it from us.
And you can find us on all sorts of platforms. The two biggest ones being Apple.
And Spotify.
That's right. And if you want to find all the other ones, just listen to any of the other episodes. You'll find
Yeah,
us.
you'll find it.
But don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe whenever you
that.
do. That's the only way that we'll ever get ahead.
Yeah, it's the only way we can. Well,
Keep doing this.
Yeah, literally.
Yep. So please go drop
Please listen to us. Please.
go drop some booze for us
Yeah,
if you've
for real.
if you enjoyed it. Please do. And until next time,
Bye, Baes.
bye, bays.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast. Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach,
And I'm Mike.
and we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.